What's up, guys? Ranger Liz here. How you doing? Happy HyperForce Wednesday. A little late for the coffee chat right now, so sorry about that. It is a little late today, but let's look at HyperForce. We had HyperForce episode 13 happened yesterday, and it was very RPG. It was. It wasn't a clip show, but it was definitely lighter on action, heavier on plot. It was an episode where if you really wanted to learn about the characters, kind of get caught up almost and really get yourself to where they are, it was a really good episode. I took 6 pages of notes. Now, I'm not going to read 6 pages of notes. That's like asinine. Why would I do that? But I'm going to try to go through the main plot points and everything pretty quick because we learn a lot about the characters. The too long didn't read version. Through the Hyperstream, Vesper is conveniently gone because in real life, Christina Vee, who plays Vesper, wasn't there. I missed, unfortunately, the first 5 minutes, so I didn't get the explanation. I believe it was something with her throat. She's a voice actress, her throat is her livelihood, so if she was having sore throat or anything like that, I understand. But she wasn't there, and there was no guest stars, so it was just 4. It was the 4 other Rangers the rest of the time. So we definitely got some, we got a lot of plot. It opened up, Jack and Eddie had a good heart-to-heart. After a lot of heart-to-hearts, they get a call that the Alliance is going to show up in Briarwood. Briarwood, that is Mystic Force, which, and he talked about, Gosei before, and I'll cover the stuff about that later, but there were so many times, because there was only 4 of them. And you kind of just kept thinking, oh, maybe they got someone to come in or whatever. Maybe there's going to be a guest appearance. And there wasn't, but it was still a very good episode because they talked about, Gosei at one point in the Mega Force, and we were like, Mega Force Ranger, maybe a Mega Force Ranger, the Super Mega Force Ranger, someone would be there. You know, and then they did Mystic Force, and okay, there wasn't a guest for that either. There are some issues. They start talking about, the Alliance, where things are. Definitely talks about their past. They go exactly 24 hours before the Alliance is supposed to show up in Briarwood in the year 2005. 2005. Good year. Good year. I graduated high school that year. I'm old Ranger fan. So they go back and they have 24 hours before the Alliance shows up, and they end up through a portal and end up to Mystic Mother. Mystic Mother is Rita after the Z-Wave was good, and in the time span between in space with the Z-Wave and Mystic Force, she's basically just become giant. Literally, she's huge. And bestowing of good things. She had each Ranger go. She had a one-on-one with them where they really had to defeat something or someone that was maybe holding them back from giving everything to the Rangers. And only once all of the Rangers have done this, minus Vesper, of course, because she was working on a secret mission with Alpha. Alpha was being skittish, being like, oh, she's taking a nap. And that was a really bad Alpha impression. So she wasn't there, but all the other Rangers did it. They got a +1 to their basic stats. So, Marv got a +1 to Charisma. Chloe got a +1 to Stealth. Which, thank you, Orange Ranger Videos. I was talking to him today, and he reminded me that Chloe got the +1 from Santa also. So Chloe has a native +3 to Stealth. If she uses a super, she already has it. She can't lose. Because the super is what, +2 to your damage? She already has 3 +2. that's 5. The lowest you can roll on a die is a 1, and that's 6, and 6 makes a lightning. I can't make a lightning bolt. But Chloe is no longer going to be able to miss a stealth check. So keep this in mind. Joe's character has an invisibility move. You remember he was trying to use it to like get past Volcanos, and well, he did a terrible roll, so it didn't really work. But he has an invisibility ability, and Chloe now has this stealth. I think hopefully they use it, because I think it could be really fun to see what mischief the super like serious Joe and Chloe, the queen of rainbow burrito explosions, could get into. Once all of them, they got their power up, they went through the thing holding them back. Mystic Mother also gave them, like draw out your weapons. She gave them an ability to blend all of their weapons together into a giant, like a blaster. So imagine, you're basically seeing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Dino Thunder, Dino. Okay, so the Dino seasons all definitely have the weapons that join, but you know what I'm talking about. So they're all going to join now. There wasn't a card or anything from it on the screen, so we didn't get a look at it. Maybe next episode it would be cool, or maybe we'll see some awesome fan art. Oh my goodness, you guys gotta check. Just hashtag HyperForce. If you don't, on Twitter, on Instagram, check out hashtag HyperForce, because there is amazing artwork that is out there from us fans. I'd say us fans, but like I can't draw stick figures. But the people who can draw fans do some amazing work, and you should definitely check them out and give them some love. Oh man, so after they meet with Mystic Mother, they get back and they're to the ship and they're asking Alpha, okay, what, how long do we have or whatever? Is this where the Alliance is going to show up? And Alpha basically said they're not showing up anymore. Something they did in Briarwood is affecting or has affected, and the Alliance is no longer going there. Now, we learn as they're talking to Mystic Mother, they think, and so this is their theory. This isn't set in stone of what's happening in the show, but this is their theory. And mind you, 2005 was when SPD was airing, so this actually happened. They showed up in Briarwood before Mystic Force actually happened, so that's maybe something you should keep in mind. They have this feeling that Mystic Mother is almost reverting back to Rita a little bit, maybe a little snippy, a little like, yeah, after 10,000. I'm not even gonna pretend to do that. I'm not, but Malika does a very good Rita impression. Shout out to Malika, the GM. I love it was really good. It was really good. So they were wondering if things that they're already doing in the timeline that the Alliance is doing is already starting to distort other things in time. They talk about the Alliance and trying to get a handle on the situation with them. They kind of replay, like, this is what we know. Maybe is this what's going on? They talk about the fact that they, why did they go into the past to get specific villains? But they got Primator. Why? Okay, so he can take anyone's shape. And that would be really helpful to convince, perhaps, other people to join the Alliance without potentially knowing. They know they got Scorpina, who, and this was, y'all gotta go back to, like, episode 2, 3, the Halloween episode, that Scorpina has this seduction power, basically, and she's done Eddie very well. But she has a seduction power, and they're like, between Primator taking anyone else's appearance and Scorpina's seduction, they could get a lot of people on their side very easy. Other things they had mentioned, why is, when Marv was on the Alliance's ship, they were talking about Zordon. A few things were like, when Marv was on the ship, he's like, I saw the Alliance leader, but I didn't get a look at him, he's wearing a cloak. Why is this dude, like, wearing a full-on cloak? And you're not the Emperor, dude. Like, this is not normal. Okay, to be fair, sometimes I do actually wear my hood up but it was still suspicious, okay? It was still suspicious. So why is the Alliance leader hiding? Alright, so we got that, and then they're thinking, you know, maybe, again, they're not as strong as we thought they were. Maybe. They did find out the difference is because the Alliance ship can only travel in the time stream. The HyperForce Rangers can travel in the hyperstream, which means the Alliance ship can't detect the HyperForce Rangers. That is going to be really good news going forward. To wrap up before I cover quickly, or it's not going to be quick. We come on, we know this. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's not going to be quick. But let's wrap up. After they talk to Mystic Mother, they got their weapons all combined together. But the next blip or whatever. The next stupid thing is going to be in 2025. Now, accidentally, Malika was saying as Alf earlier, 25. So if you didn't stay till the very end, she did correct herself. She just said it once in her head and was stuck saying 25. She did mean to say the year 2025, which was when SPD happened. Another thing, so when she mentioned to the Rangers, SPD, or she mentioned the year 2025 with SPD, and they did originally, there was contacts and everything in 2015, and that's when SPD started getting like set up on Earth. The Rangers, they didn't know, but they actually had an option. They were like, all right, well, let's travel to 2025 and roll the dice, roll the Rangers, and they took off in a big old 3, 2, 1 poof. They're in the land of SPD. I absolutely love Power Rangers SPD. It is, I've unfortunately, I've only watched the full series once, like 3 years ago. I really need to get my butt on watching it again, a rewatch. Maybe I'll at least watch a handful of episodes before the next HyperForce, because I really just love the lore. I love the, it's fun. Why do you need a reason? I like SPD. That's it. So that is where we will see our heroes next Tuesday. Just touching in now at this point, I'm going to kind of just like go character a bit. They started getting on the whole like Gosei with Zordon. So let's talk about Zordon, oddly enough. The Alliance is trying to save Zordon. Perhaps at the end it'll be a huge twist, and maybe like there's another big bad, because how Power Rangers would it be if we find out the big bad isn't even the big bad? Like, they're working for another team. So, like, the Alliance actually was a force for good, trying to save Zordon, because Zordon was going to be kidnapped by someone else. I don't know. It's headcanon. Not even headcanon, it's head theory. So, but we do know in the episode, or in the show, is that Zordon is going to be saved. Oh, I'm using air quotes, like Dr. Evil. Saved by Zordon. Saved by the Alliance. Now, Zordon is saved. There's no Z-Wave. We're talking Divatox, Lord Zed, Rita, Goldar. I mean, all of them. All the big bads that are still there. Rito. I'm not really great. The Machine Empire. I'm not really great with other. The Scottish one from Zeo. Clank Sprocket. Yeah, that too. I don't know why I decided to name all of them, but I did. They would also be there, right? So imagine if they destroyed Zordon, they could potentially go back, grab all of them, and have a big old wave and a force to be reckoned with. Well, they're already a force to be reckoned with, but a bigger force to be reckoned with. Oh, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I hope, I just hope it continues as good as it is. You know, I just hope that it doesn't, you know, we're halfway through. Woo! We're over halfway through HyperForce. I feel like I should do that would take, I'd do a mid-season. I can't talk about one episode in less than 20 minutes. Talking about 13 of them would just be silly, and this is silly. Didn't really learn anything about Alpha other than she's not really good at lying, but we kind of already knew that. Vesper clearly wasn't in the episode. Thankfully, you know, Vesper's weapon went into the main Mega weapon, but who knows if... I just realized my eyes are super squinty because my light, sorry. Blah, 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 blah. This is what happens whenever I'm filming in, like, one take, and they're like, and click. Eddie, things we learned from Eddie. Eddie is part of the Banks family. Eddie is the 25th of the Edward Banks, and they are loaded. Edward Banks is in money in the bank, business, technology, everything else. He just, his family wasn't necessarily the most supportive of him going into being a HyperForce Ranger. Jack and Eddie had a really awesome moment, and Jack basically let him know that you have surpassed all of them. You are in public service. You are saving lives. You're working on saving the universe. Like, just because you're not following in their footsteps doesn't mean that they shouldn't be proud of you, and if they're not proud of you for what you do, they should shove it. Something to that effect. In the end, for Mystic Mother, he had to confront Bianca, which was his more or less bride-to-be, betrothed. They were supposed to be together from their parents, but he had to confront them, and they had to shoot him too, which was awesome. It was fun. They were shooting illusions, we shall say. Jack, we finally got some awesome story on Jack. Jack was a cop and then was a Time Force cop. His parents died in the Mutant Wars of the early 3000s. Raised by his grandparents, Forge the dog was very important to him because he built Forge himself, but he built him with his grandparents. With his grandparents raising him, they were like parents to him. His parents were really cool with him being a cop, but he's all about the greater good. The greater good. Chloe, we find out that she had a moment with Marv. The thing she was stealing from the HyperForce Academy or whatever was actually documents related to her parents' death/disappearance. She didn't actually get them out of the reserves because she was stopped by Jack. At this point, when they're all talking, they're like, maybe it's meant to be. Maybe it's meant to be. Let's see. Moving on to Marv. Marv has been using the pocket dimension room as an interrogation room for Primator, and then Primator starts turning into people, including Joe, and then Marv keeps trying to destroy them. He did it like 35 times. Marv is having some issues. Marv's big thing was he and Chloe were about ready to say, maybe we should just go find our families because we don't have much to go on. We don't know where the Alliance is going. We're only reactive to them. Maybe we should use these to find Joe first, and then from there, hopefully information about Chloe's parents. Marv had to confront himself, basically, let go of the doubts, like, be a HyperForce Ranger. You know, he felt guilty. He cheated to get into the Academy. He was randomly thrown into this. He's the Red Ranger, and he feels like he doesn't belong to be a Red Ranger, and he had to fight through that. He did, and it drives me crazy from Ninja Steel because Peter Sudarso is such a better actor than they have Preston look. And it drives me crazy. There was only 4. Sweet. Oh, man. Oh, and the burrito machine was fixed. All hail the burrito machine. At least partially fixed. They was only throwing out salt, water, tortillas, but we're getting there. We're getting there. The plot, please, and this is like 20 minutes long. I can't, this was a fraction of my notes. If you want to, I really just want to say, if you just want to get caught up on full character stories, where they are in the process. I tell you, if you've never watched HyperForce before, and I don't know why, because if you've never watched HyperForce before, why would you be 20 minutes into episode 13 review? If your friends haven't watched HyperForce before and they really, really they're interested in getting into it, have them watch Hassan's video about what it is and everything, and then have them watch episode 13. I think it was kind of a great mid-season, not clip show, but there's a transition. It felt like, okay, the first half is done, let's rock it. Alright, I think that's gonna be it. We're already at 21 minutes if I cut this off now. My name is Ranger Liz. Like, comment, and subscribe, and all that jazz. Thanks for watching. I will see you at the next video, which is probably going to be the Ranger Weekend Review, the Toku Weekend Review. Let's cut it off now. Bye!